Hi, welcome to the first video of the series of learning and discovering about being a doormat in a relationship. I've been working with people for over 12 years. I've had the experience of doing a lot of different kinds of therapies and coaching and helping people of all kinds of ways of living and beliefs and this has nurtured me a lot to be able to understand the human being much more better. First, I've come through a path of understanding myself because I've come up with a lot of issues, and I always use myself as a guinea pig for everything that I learn. And I believe that first I had to go through a very deep and profound knowledge of who I am and what can I do to make myself feel better about myself. Not so much about life, but more about myself. And among this path, I had to do a lot of different things. And one of my biggest issues was relationships. I used to be a person that went into relationships and, well, especially my first ones, now I'm happily married, but they didn't end so good. I felt that I gave a lot. I felt that I had to become a different person. I felt that I lost who my true identity was because all the time I was looking for the approval of the other person. It's never their fault. That's one of the things that we should understand about this. It's never the other person's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's my responsibility, and I really, through my limited way of looking through life and through the way that I was trying to nurture myself and love myself, I did what I did. And part of this was trying to look for partners in the way that I thought that I was not enough. So I went into relationships where I gave much more, trying always to pleasure and to please other people. And in all ways, some people believe that we have to do this initially sexually. And it's not only sexually, it's in our beliefs and our values, and always asking what the other person wants, and pretty much depending on what the other person is or feeling, and that pretty much makes me feel good or bad about myself. So when I was during the relationships, I was always like under pressure. I was always under like on siege, trying to figure out what the other person wanted, and trying to be myself and to mold myself towards the demands of the other person, or believe what the demands of the other person was. And part of what also happened around this was one of the biggest beliefs that we should always give to other people. We should always be of service to other people. And that's very important. We should always be a non-selfish person and put ourselves last. I don't believe that so much, especially when we do this out of fear, not out of love. And the biggest difference out of fear is that we're always looking for something. I do something for another person and I wait for something from them. It can be kind words, it can be a hug, it can be acknowledgement, it can be something. And when I don't receive it, I feel bad. That's when I'm doing that out of fear. When I'm doing that out of love, is that I'm giving and I'm not winning anything from that person. I just do it out of pure and sincere love. So initially, I thought I had to give a lot because that's what we've been taught. First, you have to take care of yourself, and you have to understand also that if you're giving, putting yourself in a position that you're not being true to yourself, that's also not a good way to give, because at the end of the day, you start asking for what happened here. What I'm saying about this is like the word sacrifice. I really do not like that word in a relationship, and I really don't believe in it. We normally have to believe we have to sacrifice things for other people. I don't believe that. I believe in change, because if I sacrifice myself for you, later on I can say, hey, my life is crap and it's because it's your fault. Now you need to do something to make me feel good. That's where I don't go into it. If I take a conscious responsible decision, I'm making a change. I'll do this change. I'll go to another country because I want to. And if things don't result as I wanted them to, it's on my watch. It's my fault. It's not my fault. It's really it's my responsibility. So it's good if you understand this. So it pretty much goes if you're doing it out of love or out of fear. If you're doing it to get something back, you're doing it out of fear. You're being a doormat. You're being a person that probably through something, we'll see that in another video, you're looking for something in exchange because you don't believe you have enough to give to another person. You don't believe in yourself, in your knowledge, in your intelligence, in your looks, in your financial situation, that you need to give, believe you need to give even more to probably get something out of somebody else, to get something or love or acknowledgement or some kind of kindness from your partner. And it's good that you also give. That's part of being in a relationship. But always thinking about yourself. Thinking that I first think about myself in the way that I have enough to give. If I always give you money and I'm broke, how can I give you more money? Unless I have enough money I can give, I'll start giving you. And I know that may sound very simple, but that's also in love. That's also in affection. That's also in trust. And all these kinds of different ways of living our relationship with somebody else. So the idea here is to be able to look for a way that we feel good with ourselves and we know we're giving because we want to give out of pure love. We were not expecting anything from them.